And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream here on the Film Stock channel. I've got a Diet Dr. Pepper in hand already. I might have to grab another, honestly. Hold on. Hits every single time. But hope everyone's doing well. It is Wednesday, August 20th. The summer movie season is pretty much come to an end. And fall is almost here. I think fall's the best season for various reasons. The weather getting cooler, football season. It's just the best time to be alive. Once we get to the Burr months, September and onward, ooh, I can't wait. But welcome in, everybody. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, welcome. Essentially what this is, well, it's a live Q&A and Hangout. What that means is I'm going to answer as many questions as I can. I'll get to, again, as many as I can throughout the stream. And you can talk, ask me about movies, TV shows, food, theme parks, sports, life, whatever it may be. Fire off your questions in the chat now. And again, I'll get to as many of them as I can. Super chat is the way to go, though, to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern, because there is 0% chance I will get to every single one of these questions. I am going to do my best, but let me make sure that posted to my Instagram story. It did. We are live now. Cool. All right. Welcome in, everybody. See, we have 77 people in here already. Hit that like button. Helps out immensely as well. Do it. And let's just get down to business. I'm going to have to get another one of these Diet Dr. Peppers in the middle of the stream probably. But that's life. We move. How's everybody doing? How are we doing? How are the vibes? Let's see. Ooh, there were lots of questions in here. Actually, before I even started the stream, I'll speed around those. Someone said, good morning. I'm going to school. I hope you had a good day. What do I think of the new Lego Batman game? I saw the trailer and it looked like they're pulling from all the Batman movies. I'm here for all the Dark Knight stuff. I played the Lego Batman games growing up. It was a fun time. There were 2 that I played. Very fun time. Hi, Chris. I might miss the live. I have rehearsals for Beetlejuice. Well, I hope that goes well, or is going well, I should say. If I could have any of the powers of the Fantastic Four, what would I be? I think that the answer is easy. I think the answer is invisibility. Because I think that's the one you could get the most use out of in terms of if you don't want to talk to somebody, you can hide yourself. You could technically, I don't know how immoral you're trying to be, but you could steal things. You could sneak into movies. You could go into theme parks. That's what I'm thinking of. I'm not thinking of doing anything too crazy. Just I could just sneak into Disney World. I could just go to the movie theater and watch the movie in the back and no one would know I'm there. I don't know. That's the first one that came to mind. So Sue Storm's powers come to mind. We're only 98 days away. Yes, we're getting there. Closer and closer every day to the final season of Stranger Things. I made a video the other day, 100 days to go, and it's already, 98? So it'll be here before we know it. Time's flying lately, truly. Kicks and Curses, that's a really cool profile picture right there. I like how it's Cobra Kai, Stranger Things, Star Wars. That's cool stuff right there. Welcome into the stream. Glad you're here. Glad you could make it. All right, let's get down to the chat now. I see we got Starcourt in here. Shout out Jacob. Leanna, what's good? How you doing? The Cobra Kai family says, are you a fan of PlayStation 4? I had a PS4, the gaming console. I had one for years. Now I have a PS5. So I have been PlayStation for the long haul. I had an Xbox for a few years there, but I much prefer PlayStation, personally. I never had an Xbox growing up. I had PlayStation or Nintendo. But yeah, big fan of PlayStation. Again, Super Chat guarantees I get to your question. Huge way to help support the channel as well. Ooh, I like this one from Movie Fan 2002. Hey, Chris, even though we only have 4 full months left of the entire year, what movie do you think will get a 5-star rating? Great question. If you follow me on Letterboxd, you'll know I haven't given a 2025 movie 5 stars yet. I've given 3 4.5 out of 5-star ratings to Naja 2, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, and Weapons was the newest one to join that club. I have a pretty good feeling. I know what the 5 out of 5 is going to be. And it's very obvious if you know me in my top 10 from last year. I'm pretty confident that, knock on wood, Wicked for Good will get the 5-star from me. At least 4.5, worst case scenario. I've been I mean, Cam, my fiance, rewatches Wicked almost weekly. I'm not making that up. And yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, I listened to the entire Wicked soundtrack like 1.5 times on a little car trip that I had, a little ride around town. And I listened to that soundtrack ad nauseum. I mean, I listen to it all the time. I adore that movie. It's a movie that has already become a classic in my house. And so to see the continuation of that, because I love musicals, I really love that first movie. I got a strong inkling that will be the one where I'm like, okay, this is my movie of the year. I hope. Again, I don't want to create like a false, sense of hope, but I'm pretty confident. And Wicked for Good being that first movie to get 5 out of 5. Anything else though, I mean, I have no idea. That's the one that I'm just the most confident in. Any movie could get, oh, that's a 5 out of 5 for me. There were multiple the past few years. 2023 had multiple, 2024 had multiple. And so it depends on a lot of things. I'm confident in that. And I'll say there's a chance. No, I don't know. Never mind. I'm not even going to say that. Not even going to say that. Alyssa, what's up? Luke says, nice beard. Thank you. Yeah, it's back. It was gone. I shaved it fully. Now it's back. College football time. You got that right, man. You got that right. We got a couple super chats in here. Isaiah's everything. Shout out Isaiah for the super chat. Hey man, how's your week been? I was wondering what potential Stranger Things spinoffs you think we could get after it ends. Week's been good, honestly. I'm ready for it to be September though. For like I said, colder weather sort of starts in September. Not really where I live, unfortunately. And college football. We're so close. We're so damn close. Regarding spinoffs though, we're getting Tales from 85, which is like the animated spinoff. I think they could end up doing that with gaps between every single season of the show, kind of like a what if type thing. More so, actually, are you familiar with Tales of the Jedi for Star Wars? They did a couple of those Tales of the Empire here. Bounty Hunters, I think, was one of them. Nah, that doesn't sound right. It was something, though. They could do something like that with Stranger Things, like 20-minute episodes, just filling in fun little gaps with characters. But in terms of live action spinoff, I don't know for how long I've been wanting this. It's not going to happen because of The First Shadow is why it's not going to happen. I wanted a high school spinoff with Joyce, with Bob, with Hopper. But now that there's The First Shadow play and they're all a part of that, I feel like they're probably not going to want to make a TV show out of it. But you never know. Never say never, I guess. But that's kind of what I would love. And they could call it maybe Stranger Things. I don't know. Insert year here, like we have Stranger Things, we had The First Shadow, Tales from 85. It seems like if they do other spinoffs, the year in which it takes place could make sense. So it could be like Stranger Things 1958 or something. I don't know. Don't they already have a show? Yeah, Yellowstone that has a bunch of spinoffs that are just a year. So maybe they don't want to do that actually, but I don't know. I would love to see a prequel because if you look at successful spinoffs, oftentimes they are prequels. And I'm about to cite the most known one and one of the most popular successes, Breaking Bad, very popular TV show, beloved, award-winning. Then you get Better Call Saul. That's a prequel. However, there are sequel elements by the end that follow, Saul post the events of the Breaking Bad finale. So that's something I would like to see. We have to see where they wrap up with characters because I don't know if I want to see like Steve and all these other characters in a spinoff. And I don't know if they'd want to honestly be in it. But yeah, I'd say I want to see a prequel. Definitely. If we have to get a sequel spinoff, it would involve, I would say, Erica and the new kids and like Holly Wheeler. That way you could have the door open to bring in like Mike on occasion. But if they jump it up a few years, like the main kids could just be in college. So there would be no reason for them to be back in Hawkins all that much. Just a thought. Anyway, Lock-In Gaming says, just wondering, do you have a Discord server? I do not. I did at one point in time years ago. It's something I've thought about firing back up. I technically still have it. Actually, I don't think I shut it down or anything. The link's just not really public. I'm not good with things like that. I rarely have used Discord, so I'm so unfamiliar with it that I just wouldn't be good at keeping up with it, I feel. But never say never. Never say never. I familiarized myself enough with it. It's basically just an ongoing group message from what I gather. So never say never. I might fire one up eventually. Maybe a Patreon thing, though. Hayden with the super chat says, do you know the dates scheduled for October Upside Down Con in Jackson, Georgia? So there's not going to be a convention this year. in Jackson for Stranger Things. However, when I was down there in July. I actually talked to the worker at Hawkins headquarters, which is like the cool Stranger Things store right in downtown Jackson. And what she told me, and what I've heard from other people who've also been down there and spoken to locals, is that in the month of October, Jackson, Georgia is like transforming into the Upside Down. And I don't know what that entails fully. I believe that means there's going to be decorations and they're going to make it look like, Hawkins more than it already does, because it is the basis for Hawkins, right? But maybe more designs, decorations rather, and events. I'm not sure what all that entails. I'm trying to get some more information on that so I can share it. But there's not going to be like a convention like last year. There was the Upside Down Con that was put on by a company, and I don't know if you guys are up in the news on all that, but there was some crazy stuff that happened with that. So you can do your own research on what all went down with that. Wild, let me just say that much. But there won't be an Upside Down Con. I do think that there will be, in the future, other companies will put on Stranger Things related conventions, because that's just a thing, right? If a show has a big enough following, a big enough fandom, after that show ends, there's often like reunion conventions. Cobra Kai just ended. They've already had a few of those. Now, I do think Stranger Things is an anomaly because that show is so much bigger than any of these other shows, in my opinion. I love me some Cobra Kai, and obviously, the Vampire Diaries and some of these other shows have One Tree Hill, for example, have like not cult followings, but damn near. And I love One Tree Hill as well, by the way. But those shows have been off the air for so long. They have their fan base. This is a show, Stranger Things, that's, created megastars. This is a TV show unlike any other in terms of scale alone. And so to me, it would make sense for them to do a convention, but it would have to be bigger in scale. It wouldn't be as low key. We'll see, obviously, but if we ever, have a convention in the future, but if someone puts on a Stranger Things convention, I'll do my research and I will be sure to report that and make videos and let you guys know what I hear. But I had so much fun at the con last year. Let's see. Got a couple more super chats here already. Thank you guys for the support. Chris, are you going to see the OG Toy Story in theaters on September 12th? I think I did see that it was re-releasing, and I didn't put together the date. So is that when it comes out? Let me check. I would definitely be interested because first of all, the movie is damn short. It is the first Pixar movie. I didn't get to see it in theaters growing up because I was born in 1999. That movie came out in 95. So 30 years. Wow. Crazy to say that out loud. I don't have plans to as of right now, but never say never. I also know Jaws is releasing, I think, next week. I'm actually going to be out of town next week. I'll be in Orlando. I'm very excited about that. I don't think I've announced that on the stream. I'm going to Epic Universe for the first time. I'm going next week, and I'm very excited about that. It's the new theme park, and you guys, if you followed, the channel or been in the live streams, I love a good theme park, and that goes for Disney, that goes for Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios, but I haven't been able to go to Epic yet. I'm going next week. Very thrilled for that. So that'll be here before I know it, but that might throw a wrench in me seeing Jaws in theaters, but it's okay. If I don't get to see Jaws in theaters, it's not the end of the world. I love the movie, and I've already watched it twice this year. So we'll see. We shall see. Network 98 with another super chat. Shout out the craving. For those who are like, what is hashtag the craving? Why does it always come up? It's an old running joke, a bit almost in live streams, because it stems from a Taco Bell commercial involving Joe Keery. So just do your research if you're curious. Anyway, the super chat says, I plan to go on The Voice in 1 to 5 years from now. What if the craving is somehow canon to Stranger Things? Who's a musician you dislike their music, and who's their movie comp director? Wow. Multi-part, a lot to answer here. Let me take a sip of this first. Can't go wrong with Dr. Pepper. Okay, this is a lot. So you plan to go on The Voice. So is that show? I didn't know it was still on. I think you're referring to The Voice as in like the music show. I wish you the best with all that. Very awesome. regarding the next part of this, what if the craving is somehow canon to Stranger Things? I mean, yeah, could you imagine if we got a Taco Bell ad in season 5 that somehow brought this in? I don't know if that would make any sense. It might break the space-time continuum. I would go crazy, though, if I saw that. And then who's a musician where I dislike their music? And who's their movie comp? That's tough. I mean, I don't think I actively dislike many musicians. I off the top of my head, I can't even really think of. I mean, who's a popular artist where I'm like, I don't get it. I don't even know. I don't really have music hot takes. So that's kind of a boring answer, I'm aware, unfortunately. But I mean, look, I don't get the hype for certain artists, I guess, but I can't even like name one off the top of my head. Pretty much anyone country music, I'll say that. That's my answer. Like, I guess who's the most popular country artist? Morgan Wallen, I guess. I don't know. I don't care for that for country. I used to listen to country music growing up, like in middle school, and I really liked it a lot. And then I just grew out of it, and now I'm like, I can't really stand it. And so probably any sort of country music star, like a megastar, you know. And there's a great Bo Burnham joke where he's like poking fun at country music. Again, if you guys like country, I'm not attacking you. I'm just saying I don't care for it that much anymore. But I think it's hilarious. Just look up Bo Burnham country music. It's pretty funny. But I'd say director comp for like big country music star would be like Michael Bay, where it has its audience and there's this big appeal, but it's kind of just this loud noise and there's not a lot of meat on the bone. That's how I feel about, you know, big country music stars, probably comparable to a Michael Bay movie. So there's my answer to that one. I talked my way out of that one. Oh, man. But I see we have over 100 people in here. Welcome in, guys. Hit that like button. Let's get to 100 likes. Helps out tons. And yeah, thank you for being here. Jeremy's in here. Isaiah's everything in here again. Roberto, Haley, what's up? What's up? Sophie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Gavin says, hey, Chris, have you seen Manchester by the Sea? I have, man, and it wrecked me. I watched this back in 2020 as a part of the 100 Movies I Missed journey. I don't know if I could ever stomach watching that movie again, and I won't say why. It's not like there's just like some disturbing imagery. Like, it's such a heavy movie, it will genuinely depress you. And that's all I have to say about that, to quote Forrest Gump. Nate plays, what's good? Joe says, Duffers moving to Paramount. Yeah, so the Duffer Brothers signed a deal to move to Paramount. They're with Netflix right now, and they're going to be working with Paramount moving forward, meaning they're going to make movies and shows for them. And at first, when this news came out last week, it scared the hell out of me because I immediately got alarmed about the future of Stranger Things, specifically spinoffs within the universe, and how related or how hands-on would the Duffer Brothers be. Well, today we got another article, or yesterday, further confirming that the Duffers are leaving. They're going to Paramount, but they will still be involved with Stranger Things. They're going to be working in collaboration with Netflix still. So they're going to oversee, likely produce all future Stranger Things spinoffs with Upside Down Pictures, which is their production company. The Stranger Things stuff's still going to be going to Netflix. Obviously, it's not going to go to Paramount, but the Duffers will be involved. Now, they won't be as hands-on, meaning they won't be directing or writing probably, but they didn't direct or write The First Shadow, and that turned out just fine. I haven't seen it, but I'm aware of it. My take on this right now, I have a short coming out later today about this. It's already edited. My take on this is throughout the now 5 seasons of Stranger Things, there have been writers and talented directors who have come in and done multiple episodes, and they've shown they're more than capable of delivering some of the best moments in Stranger Things. Like, the Duffer Brothers don't direct every episode. They are the creators of the show, and they don't even write every episode, if you think about it. Like, they're involved. But Stranger Things has been a big old collaboration. Like, it's the Duffers' baby, and they're largely responsible for most of its success, I would say. But you can't discount, Kate Treefry, who's a writer on the show, who's responsible for basically taking on the first Shadow play. Caitlin Schneider, and another person who wrote Flight of Icarus. You've got Nimrod Antal, director of, I believe it's Predators, the movie. He directed a couple things in season 4. Sean Levy, obviously huge. He could totally take on one of these spinoffs. Like, I would be down for a Sean Levy 8-episode spinoff with him, so a lot of talent in the writers' rooms, lots of directors have come in. So I'm not really concerned. Like if the Duffers are overseeing and they're going into their George Lucas role, and George Lucas was a producer on the Indiana Jones movies. That's what I'm referring to. Spielberg was directing, but Lucas had like these big picture ideas for those. And then frankly, he did that after A New Hope. Lucas only directed A New Hope, and then he was a producer and very hands-on with ideas behind the scenes for Empire and Return of the Jedi, but he didn't direct those movies. How did that turn out? So that's kind of how I'm looking. Like, I'm trying to be optimistic here. Like, yes, we're not going to probably get Duffer Brothers directed Stranger Things episodes ever again after season 5, which is scary, but they're still going to be involved enough, and they're always a phone call away. So I'm pretty confident that Stranger Things is going to be okay after, it's all said and done. Menu says hello. How you doing? And we got some super chats here. Let's go ahead and get into those. Thank you guys for the super chats. You're crushing it. You're crushing it. Isaiah again says, if Stranger Things and the MCU crossed over, what would a conversation between Red Guardian and Hopper be like? Maybe a debate on which of their superhero daughters was better? Let me take a sip of Dr. Pepper before I answer. So I think this conversation would go down. It depends on what season for Hopper. I think Red Guardian would start mouthing off a little to him. Especially if this is Sheriff, Chief Jim Hopper we're talking about here. I would imagine, I'm watching season 2 right now on Patreon, and so that's where my mind is at when I'm thinking Hopper. I'm thinking season 2 Hopper. Imagine, Red Guardian. He starts to mouth off to Hopper. And he's like, I'm not going to do my impression, but, he's basically says something along the lines of like, that shiny badge and you're looks like you got the costume from Spirit Halloween or something like that. And so he ruffles some feathers with Hopper, and Hopper's response is a little sassy as well. I think they would have a sass off, if you want my honest answer to this question. Regarding the part about their daughters, I mean, I love Yelena. And I guess technically Natasha too, but come on. 11 is the cooler when it comes to powers alone. And if we're talking who wins a fight, I mean 11 is going to destroy them. So that's not even a debate. There's no debate there. They could like have a verbal debate, but if they were to go to battle, I guess, against each other, 11 is wiping the floor with them. So I think it would just be who's sassier between the two. David Harbour would be having a field day with that, I tell you that much. Oh, man. Love the originality with some of these questions, though. Matt with a super chat says, let's say hypothetically, I was making you a candle based off your channel. Hypothetically. What should it smell like and be named? Hashtag country music sucks. I'm with you on that, dude. I'm not a country music guy, but I've been to country music concerts. It's part of my life that I have to embrace, I guess. What candle scent would what? That's a good question. I don't know if this is not based on like my channel, but my favorite scent of all time is anything vanilla related. Growing up, I had this soap called Warm Vanilla Sugar. I remember when I was at my grandparents' house one time, they had a candle that smelled like vanilla cupcake. Loved that. Anything vanilla related, dude, like that is my favorite scent maybe of all time. And I want to eat a candle that smells like that. So I also just love vanilla flavored things. Like, oh man, just classic vanilla ice cream, vanilla wafers. I mean, I love some vanilla. And so I know that's pretty bland. Pretty vanilla, if you will. Sorry for that. I had to do it. But I mean, really and truly, I feel like vanilla is my favorite scent. And you could spin that into any, film stocked. How is it vanilla? I mean, maybe I am a vanilla guy. I don't know. But yeah, that's just my favorite scent. I don't really have an explanation for you. I just love the smell of vanilla, man. It's the best. Like, and with fall upcoming, I do light a lot more candles around the place, and we have one called Winter Wonderland that's like on the candle warmer year round, and it has a vanilla scent to it, vanilla-y. It's not full on vanilla, but there's something about that vanilla, man. I know I've said vanilla like 1,000 times, but that's my answer. That's my answer, Matt. Thank you for the super chat, though. And I agree, hashtag country sucks. All right, let's get back to the regular chat. And again, fire off your super chats to guarantee I can get right to your question, comment, concern. Simply Sid says, top 5 characters you think might die in season 5. I'm going to answer this without explaining. We're just going to go. And I'm not going to tell you why. This is all based on they might die. This is based on what we've seen, okay? Vecna, 11, Will, Jonathan, Murray. There you go. There you go. There's my answer. As much as I love summer, I do like fall as well. Sure, I like when it's lighter outside in the evening, but at least we do have birthday, Halloween, Thanksgiving. Yeah, the holidays. My birthday's in November. So I got my birthday, Halloween, Thanksgiving, football every Saturday. I can't wait. Every week I have something to look forward to. And I'm actually going to a few games this year. It's going to be great. I can't wait. It reminds me of that audio. Life is worth living. Roberto says, which horror movie is the best of this year, Sinners or Weapons? Whatever I were to say would probably, upset someone out there. But my answer is pretty clear. I'm pretty confident it's Weapons. Weapons is a top 2 movie of the year for me. I have not stopped thinking about it since I saw it. I was very high on the movie walking out of the theater. It was just a wild experience, but I've been watching interviews with the director, and that's changed my perspective on a lot as well. And it's one of those movies that's going to stand the test of time because of how different everyone perceives the film. Like, you could go with a group of 6 people, and all 6 of you could walk out of that theater and have different reactions and responses to the movie, but also interpret moments and shots differently. And if a movie can spark that much discussion, that's how it's probably a home run. Even me, I don't think I fully felt like I had an understanding of every little detail on first viewing. I'd only seen the movie once, but that's okay. And it reminds me of the first time I watched Donnie Darko, which was 2019 or 18. I forget. It was my freshman year of college, though, which would be 2018 into 2019. I watched Donnie Darko, and I knew I liked it. And so I went back the next night and watched the director's cut, and that clarified a lot for me. But it's one of those types of movies. It's like, you got to sit with it, marinate on it. And that's why I actually haven't even reviewed the movie and probably won't review it. First of all, I was on vacation with my family when it came out. And so I did not see it the initial week it came out. I went the following weekend. But I basically review the movie in my recent video. So if you want my Weapons review, you should go watch. I put it out pretty much right when I went live, summer 2025 tier list of all the movies I watched. And I talk about Weapons the longest there. I think I talked about it for at least 3 or 4 minutes. So that's kind of my Weapons review. But yeah, I'd say Weapons is the best horror of the year for me. And it's crazy. I'm always like, I'm not a horror guy. And then I watch a really great horror movie and I'm like, I love this. And I go, wow, let's see. I'm not a horror guy, but let's look at all the horror movies I've watched this year. Well, I've watched Final Destination, Bloodlines, Sinners, Weapons, Bring Her Back. I Know What You Did Last Summer. So I've seen my fair share of horror this year. I'm not like a downright horror junkie, I don't think. Apologies if you guys hear the train outside the window, by the way. But I definitely enjoy a great horror film. And with The Conjuring 4 coming out in a couple weeks, I damn well might rewatch the Conjuring franchise. So we shall see if I can stomach that or not. Because I really love the first 2. But this second one, man, it got under my skin, I'm telling you. Haley says, hey, Chris, will you be reacting to Stranger Things 5 on YouTube? That's the plan. Sorry for the noise outside. But yes, I plan to react. A lot of factors are up in the air. I will 1,000,000%, if anything, I will be reacting to the finale. It's what I did for season 4. So 1,000,000% I'll be reacting to the series finale. And I plan to react to all the other episodes. There are just certain factors at play out of my control right now. So I don't know. I don't know for a fact if I'll be reacting to the first few episodes or not, is what I'm trying to say. Only time will tell. But I will be reacting to pretty much, I'm pretty confident, Volume 2 and Volume 3, which would be the finale. But yes, I plan to react to most of it, if not all of it. Okay. Vanilla, dude. Vanilla it's a goated scent. It soothes me. Jaden with the super chat says, after Weapons, I hope any of the cast goes to a convention. Yes, it'd be cool to meet. I mean, hell. So yeah, you're saying you would want to meet some of the cast of the movie Weapons. Yeah, I mean, well, if you think about it, Julia Garner is Shia LaBeouf in Fantastic Four. Brolin is Thanos. I'm pretty sure he's probably gone to a convention. And then Alden Ehrenreich was Han Solo. I don't know if he wants to show face at a convention, but people would not be happy. Probably. I like Alden a lot as Han, but yeah, I mean, you could probably meet some of them in time, I'd imagine. I feel like the best bet might actually be Josh Brolin. I feel like he would go to one of those. I think there's one in like San Antonio, Texas. There's a convention. I think it's called like it's superhero related typically. And they got like Andrew Garfield once. They got Brie Larson, Haley Steinfeld. They've gotten Jeremy Renner even. Like they get bigger names that don't typically go to conventions. And so I feel like that's where you could probably meet Julia Garner or Josh Brolin. But yeah, that'd be really cool to meet the cast of Weapons. Those are big stars though. Golden Ace with the super chat says Maleven or Byler Endgame. I'm Maleven. What am I thinking? Yeah, so I've talked about this on streams before and in videos. I think of the two, I think that the show's been setting up Maleven from the jump. I mean, from the end of the first episode, and so I think that's the ship. That's the direction we're headed in, as evidenced by season 5 footage with the two of them having a moment before it seems like maybe Elle is going back into the bathtub, which we've seen her do in seasons past. And so I think that relationship, it's such a powerful emotional relationship that if you think about as you watch through the seasons, the ability for characters to sort of evade Vecna, or rather break some sort of connection to something from the upside down, it usually does take a really strong emotional connection. An example of that would be, I'm rewatching season 2 right now. My mind's on that. It's been yapping about it on Patreon a bunch lately. There's a moment, it's the beginning of season 2, episode 4. And it's the episode that picks up with Will, being possessed, if you will, by the shadow form of the Mind Flayer. Well, how is he able to snap out of that? Joyce right there talking to him. Look at other moments in the show, right? Like in Dear Billy, for example, Max is able to see, Lucas and Steve and them up at the top of the hill, if you will, that she's running up. And the music obviously plays a huge factor in that as well. But the strong emotional, because we get a montage of her in moments with like Lucas, that emotional, that core of that relationship pushes her to be able to evade Vecna. And so to me, I think they're setting up Maleven because Mike or 11, what I think will end up happening is, and this isn't, I haven't thought too much about this prediction. It's just kind of came to my head. 11 probably going to be in a situation in the upside down with Vecna, and the only way she's going to be able to get out of it is, this idea of love or powerful emotional connection transcending all, and that would have to be Mike, speaking out to her. We saw that in last season with Mike's speech to 11 at Surfer Boy Pizza. And so, yeah, I think that Maleven is what they've been setting up from the beginning. And so I think that's what they're going to follow through on, in my opinion. All right. Do I play College Football 26? I actually haven't got the game yet. I've played 25 a lot. And I actually played it the other day for the first time in a long time. Then I rage quit, which is really not surprising at all. I was playing LSU Clemson. Shout out Starcourt. I was like, let me just run this real quick, and then I threw like a pick to make the game. I think it was 28-21. I was losing, and I threw a pick. And as he was running to make it a 2-touchdown game, I rage quit, and I didn't even think about it. Like I will rage quit a video game faster than you can blink. Like, a couple clicks, I go doot, scroll over, turn it off, and I just walk out of the room, and that's what happened. So I rage quit very hard. Sean Brennan says, hey, Chris, big fan. Well, hey, Sean, thank you for being here. Do you think Steve survived season 5? Thanks for the content. I got a feeling he does, because I feel like if they were going to have killed Steve, they would have by now. He had multiple opportunities to die, notably in season 4. The dive, which is the 6th episode of season 4, they almost kill him at the very end, and then you open with Massacre Hawk's Lab at 7, and like he escapes. But they've used him so many times at this point. Even in season 3, in the trailer, there's like a shot of him getting tortured by the Russians, and you're like, oh, Steve's in trouble. Steve's a goner. I feel like we've almost exhausted that at this point, and he's probably going to end up making it out. So, yeah, that's where I'm at with Steve. I think he's going to be fine. I weirdly do, guys. I weirdly do. Main Gamer, welcome in. Hope all's well with you also. Was curious. This is a question. I noticed you haven't posted reviews, any of the big movies that came out this month. Will there be reviews for Bad Guys 2, Weapons, or Nobody 2? Yeah, so I have never seen Bad Guys, so that's why I didn't watch Bad Guys 2. Weapons, I was late to the game on. I was about a week late on that one because I was out of town. So I was like, I'm just not going to review it. And Nobody 2, I did see, admittedly, opening weekend. I went Sunday at, I think, I have AMC Stubbs A-List now. I got that a few months back, so I got to use that. So I saw that, but I was like, this isn't something I want to review. And so, no, I actually didn't review. The last movie I reviewed was Fantastic Four. I don't know what the next movie I review will be necessarily, but something I've adopted into my channel and in my mindset, I'd say for the past, since 2023 at this point, is only to really review a movie if I want to. And I've reviewed a lot of movies on the channel over the years. In 2021, and this probably is before a lot of you guys even knew that I had a channel. In 2021, I reviewed a shit ton of movies. Like I reviewed just an absurd amount of movies, random straight to streaming stuff. That year, I burnt myself out horribly on reviewing movies, and it took a long time for me to get back to comfortably doing it. And so it is something that I do on the channel, but movie reviews have never really been what my channel is all about. It's something that we all do. And by we, I mean everyone in the movie space. You review movies, but I don't review every movie. And I think that there has to be a balance for me personally. I don't, I review a good chunk of movies every year, but if I were to review everything, I'm speaking personally here, it would drain me. It would drain me because I want to balance. I want to have movies where I'm like, I'm going to review this on YouTube. I have a lot to say about it, but I also want to be able to unplug a little and say, hey, I'm going to see this movie on a Sunday afternoon. I'll type something up on Letterboxd, but that's it. I'll talk I'll talk with a friend about it or tell Cam about it, but I don't want to make a video on this one. And so that's kind of what a model that I've adopted. And it's helped me. It's helped me because it got to a point at one point there where I was like, I got to review every single movie ever. I got to immediately make a video on it. And it's like, I just can't be doing that every time. And so that's why I haven't reviewed a lot in a while. I don't know what the next movie I review on the channel will be, to be frank. I'd have to look at the calendar, but I mean, for sure I'll review. I mean, November's, I think, has 5 major movies that I'm going to review, but I do prefer, and I'll say this, I really like reviewing TV. I do. I mean, I watched Wednesday, Squid Game. Whenever I watch like a season of TV, I'm like, I enjoy talking TV. I don't know why that is. Obviously movie reviews aren't going anywhere. I'm going to continue to do them. I was just saying that's personal insight into why that's how it's been over the past, I say about a month since I reviewed a movie. But that's how it is every year. You can go look at my channel, my playlist of movie reviews. Typically, there are pockets of the year where I don't review movies. And they're usually like January, February, August, September, and a bit October. But like all summer, all like November, December, there's pretty consistently movie reviews dropping. But yeah, that's kind of the answer right there. We got a super chat here from Haley. Thank you, Haley. One Tree Hill was my favorite until Stranger Things. The music was amazing on that show. Favorite character on One Tree Hill and Stranger Things? Phenomenal question. I watched One Tree Hill in its entirety last year for the first time in my life. I had seen parts of it. I'd never actually watched the show fully. And so I started in April, at the very end of April 2024, and I finished it at the end of August 2024. So that was, a good chunk of the year. I mean, how many episodes are there? Let me pull that up. There's at least, I think 170, I want to say. Let's look it up. One Tree Hill has 187 episodes, and they're all like 45 minutes long. 42 minutes, whatever. They vary from 42 to 48 minutes, depending on, whatever. But anyway, there's 187 episodes. Absurd, really. I don't know how I did it because I'm usually overwhelmed when I go and watch a show and there's that many episodes. But I'm looking right now to answer the question. Favorite character and favorite. Okay, favorite character on One Tree Hill and Stranger Things. So Stranger Things is easy. It's Hopper. Actually, I'm doing this thing. I'm gonna adjust my camera. You guys want to see some crazy stuff? Boom! I got my mural going up the wall now, which is pretty wild. But I got my like Scoops Ahoy duo right here, and then I've got and they're autographed, and then I got Hopper from season 3 up here. Hopper's my fave, but Steve is right there. It's Hopper and Steve. It's always been those two. I love them to death. So those are my favorite Stranger Things characters. And regarding One Tree Hill, look, One Tree Hill's tough because there's like a very obvious answer for me, but then there's multiple characters I love, especially when you spend so much time with them in 187 episodes. It's absurd. Nathan Scott, I think, is my favorite character, but very closely with Nathan. I might have to actually get Cam in here. Hold on. Let's see. I'm going to get Indy in here too. My cat, but Cam is the One Tree Hill expert, and I want her input, and she'll remind me. I know for sure Nathan Scott is in the conversation, though. He's got to be up there, but Brooke's great. Hopefully she sees the text. But no, music in One Tree Hill. I always noticed this. Cam watched the show before me. They use music in like every episode. There's a question here, and I wanted you. Oh, he's so handsome. He's a good boy. The question, Cam, is favorite character on One Tree Hill, and I wanted you to help me. Is it Nathan?
Your favorite character? Yeah.
Because there were a few that I really liked. Hey, buddy. He's such a big boy.
Yeah, his is probably Nathan. Mine is Brooke. But then you get into the later seasons, and there's like these secondary characters that show up that they're really great. But like I don't think they can really surpass the characters that have been there the whole time. But like I really love Clay.
Yeah, Clay's a good one.
And I love what's her face?
Quinn.
Kaylee's sister. Yeah, Quinn.
Yeah. I'm trying to find because I haven't. There's a recent edit I found.
Mouth is pretty goated.
Mouth.
Y'all are seeing this in live time. He's trying to bite me in the face.
Yeah, he's trying to attack. Where is it? I found a One Tree Hill edit the other day. How many things do I like on this app is the real question.
Did you send me that edit?
There's a chance I sent it to you. I want to try and find it. It was Nathan related. Let's see. Indy, you got to calm down, buddy. I send you a lot of food stuff.
He's just attacking me. He's slapping me upside the head.
Buddy.
Over and over and over again. Oh, Jamie Scott, go to character.
Oh, very much.
Oh my God. You got Indy. People, I've never seen you act like this on stream.
He has behavioral issues sometimes. But we love him, though.
They're going to think that you're evil and that you're mean. He's mad at me because I just gave him a haircut.
All right, this might be it.
Unprompted. Stop it. Put you down.
Okay, no, that's kind of a lame one. I don't know where it was. Maybe I didn't. It was just one of those cool edits. There's the recent trend that uses that one specific song with the beat, and then it's like it was One Tree Hill related. That's what I was trying to say.
Fire.
Yeah.
Mine is Brooke Davis so easily. Brooke Davis is one of my personality characters.
Free the boy.
I will.
No, yeah, Brooke is great. I think she's top 3 for me. I say Nathan is my favorite though.
Tell him who we hate.
Oh yeah. We're not fans of drumroll, please.
Am I allowed to cuss on your stream?
Sure.
No, I won't.
Okay.
Screw Lucas. No offense.
Lucas falls off.
Screw Peyton. I don't like her ass.
Yeah, I don't. That relationship, I frankly don't care for by the end.
I borderline like Dan Scott by the end more than I like Peyton.
Oh Lord, help me. You know who I want to shout out real quick? Nana Carey. One Tree Hill was fun. I'm glad I watched it.
Great show.
Yeah.
Next show I'm going to make him watch is Vampire Diaries.
Yep.
Chat, if any of you have seen the Vampire Diaries, ask him questions about it.
There you go. Fire. I won't know how to answer them. But no, great question. Jay Hayes says, what's your opinion on the Stranger Things season 5 release schedule, dates, but also time of day released? Yeah, you make a good point because I will say I mean, for real, the first release date I'm not a fan of. I was very much advocating for them to drop it on Stranger Things Day. That would be November 6th, obviously, and I feel like that would have just been perfect. Now, maybe this was delusion, but maybe they could still do that. A surprise drop. I'm delusional, by the way. That's not happening, but you never know. I really wanted them to drop some of the episodes. The final episode I wanted to drop on Stranger Things Day. My ideal outline was, hey, drop the first volume in October, the second volume in November, and then, that's that. However, they've gone the route of what's the word I'm looking for? They've commandeered every major holiday in the US. And so it's going to be a weird year with holidays for me. I'm probably not going to be spending time with family that much in the holidays, which is sad, but it is just 1 year. We're not going to have this every year, obviously. I wish they weren't dropping on holidays. I'll say that. I wish they were not dropping on holidays. Is it probably smart? Probably. You got to think a lot of people, I mean, because they're dropping at 8 p.m. Eastern on those days, which is Thanksgiving Eve, Christmas, and New Year's Eve. And so at those times of day, a lot of people are just going to be chilling anyway. Christmas, most people are done by the afternoon. Thanksgiving Eve, most people aren't doing anything. And so, yeah, it makes sense. Families are together, friends are together. But at the same time, I do have a fear. I'm kind of like, what if people don't watch it because they're busy with the holidays? But you got to think, a lot of people stay up really late, and I'm one of them. And so, I mean, yeah, I'm going to watch those episodes. Those are taking priority, to be honest with you, this year. And so it's going to be a weird year. I will say, if you want my honest answer, which I'm going to give you, selfishly, my birthday is November 29th, and on the 28th is a Friday, Black Friday. Georgia, my favorite sports team, Georgia college football, that is, they play Georgia Tech. And that is the 28th. It's on Friday this year. And so Thanksgiving is the 27th, and the episodes drop the night of the 26th. And so it's like, normally I love that 3-day stretch. I'm like, this is my favorite 3-day stretch of the year, arguably. I just really unplug. I enjoy that. And it's like, we're getting to watch Stranger Things. Hell yes to that. As a fan, elated. As a content creator, it is like, damn, like I gotta lock in. I gotta lock in. It's gonna be insane. I'm probably not gonna sleep. You're gonna see me on a stream. I'll have like black patches under my eyes. I'll look like that one episode of SpongeBob when they get stranded out in the that I don't know what you would describe it as. It's Squidward, Patrick, and SpongeBob. I don't even know where they are. That's kind of where I'm gonna be mentally for those few days. I'm gonna go crazy, but it'll be fun. I do wish the episodes weren't dropping right on the holidays. I don't know if I'm alone in that or not. It'll all work itself out though. It'll be fine. It's just, yeah, it's going to be interesting. The New Year's Eve too. And this is again, selfish. This is just me. Georgia, if Georgia makes the college football playoff, one of the quarterfinal games is on New Year's Eve night, and the other 3 are on New Year's Day. So if they're in one of those 3 on New Year's Day, not a problem. But if they are playing, it would be at 8 o'clock, which would directly coincide with the series finale of Stranger Things. Now, I would choose Stranger Things in this instance. But what I could do also, if I was crazy, is just completely dissociate from online and like just watch the game and then stay up and I don't know. I don't want to think about that. That's tomorrow's problem, and I get anxiety thinking about things like that. That's tomorrow's problem. But you see what I mean? I love Stranger Things. I think it would have been so much cooler if we could have I'm speaking for me here. If I could have celebrated the show in its own time of year where I'm like October, November, like we're celebrating Stranger Things, and then boom, we get our holidays. But this time it's like the 2 things I'm always looking forward to. I'm always looking forward to the holidays, and I've been looking forward to Stranger Things forever. They're like stacked on top of each other. And it's just like, man, damn it. I wish that we got to just cherish the holidays and then have this in its own time period as well. But that's not the world we live in. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But I'm kind of bummed about it, honestly. Matt with another super chat. Thank you, Matt. Says, is vanilla stock too cringe? I don't think so. No. No, I don't think that's cringe at all. Vanilla stocked. That's funny, actually. And then least favorite movie. I would say there's really there's an argument for a few. As of late, Karate Kid Legends really disgusted me to my core, but I would say like The Rise of Skywalker comes to mind when you ask me least favorite movie. I've only been able to stomach that movie one time in my entire life. I turned it on 5 minutes in. I turned it on with my friend in whenever it hit Disney Plus. I couldn't do it. We literally turned the movie off. And then I also hate 2016 Suicide Squad, but I'll be honest, we got an amazing Suicide Squad movie after that, and so I'm not as mad about that movie. Whereas The Rise of Skywalker ruined. I mean, The Last Jedi did so much damage actually that I can't even be mad. Maybe one of those two movies, honestly. Griff God with the super chat. You think the Duffers will take some of the cast of Stranger Things to Paramount? I definitely think whatever the Duffers do in the future, they're going to be calling Stranger Things cast members. And so, like, if they do a movie, right? Say the Duffers start their own little film franchise. I don't know what that entails. They're probably calling David Harbour, I'd imagine, to be the leader of that franchise. I think that they're also probably making phone calls to some of the kids. Now, they're not going to take everyone because they don't want it to be too comparable to Stranger Things, but I would almost guarantee within the next 5 years, we're getting a Duffer movie that has at least one or two cast members from Stranger Things in it. I think that every movie they make will have, you know, some of the Stranger Things cast in it, just like how every Nolan movie, for the most part, has a Michael Caine, and he uses a lot of similar actors. Tarantino as well uses Samuel L. Jackson a bunch. It's going to be one of those situations, I think, with the Duffer Brothers as well. So, great question. Another super chat here says, what's your favorite theme park? Another awesome question. I would say, look, of all time, I've been to Six Flags Over Georgia. I've been to this one in Valdosta, Georgia called Wild Adventures. Have any of you heard of Wild Adventures? I went there a couple times growing up. But realistically, this comes down to the four. I've been to Disneyland and California Adventure, but those aren't my faves. So it comes down to the 4 Disney World parks and the 2 Universal parks. I haven't been to Epic Universe yet, so I can answer this on the next stream because I'm going next week to Epic Universe. My favorite theme park of all time. I mean, I don't know, to be honest with you. Epcot has grown on me a lot with age. I think that just what that park's able to do with the food and drink options, but also having some thrills in there, and it's such a vibe. I think Epcot it's really grown on me. Magic Kingdom is classic. That is like, when I think of a theme park, I probably think of Magic Kingdom at Disney World. That's like probably the quintessential theme park. It's got something for everybody. It's in terms of being iconic, it is the most iconic to me. So I'd probably say that's like the quintessential theme park. But Epcot, and then I'm almost say Islands of Adventure has been, like, as an adult especially, who's not as afraid of roller coasters, like, that's my jam. You got Hagrid's, which I think is my favorite ride of all time, Hagrid's. You've got Velocicoaster. So there's so much to be excited about with that theme park. Great question, by the way. Karen says, today is my birthday. I love Stranger Things. Do you know, or do you think they will have original soundtrack or new soundtrack music? First of all, happy birthday, Karen. Happy birthday. Hope it's been a good one. Is that a Tennessee Volunteer logo though? I'm messing with you. Anyway, I would say, yeah, they're 100% going to have new songs in this season. They do every season. And the trailer song, which was Child in Time by Deep Purple, will definitely play a role in the show itself. That's typically what they do, I feel. They use remixed versions, at least in season 4. And then we hear that actual version in the show. They're going to have a fantastic soundtrack. Usually they do. In season 4, season 4 might have had the best soundtrack. It's tough. I mean, Separate Ways, Running Up That Hill, Psycho Killer, Detroit Rock City, many more. What's that one called? California Dreamin', I want to say. There's so many on that soundtrack. I mean, they're going to have some awesome songs from the 80s here. So, yeah, I'm not worried about it at all. I do think that they're going to have... So there's also going to be a lot of original pieces of music composed for the score by Kyle Dixon and Michael Stein. That I'm actually more excited to hear than the soundtrack. I can't wait. I cannot wait to hear like what new pieces of music were composed. Whew. You should watch Lego Stranger Things 5 trailer. Is that a thing? I'll definitely seek that out. I didn't know that was a thing. Thank you for letting me know. And then another super chat here. What was your prediction on Stranger Things 4 before it released? I don't even remember. I think I definitely predicted some major deaths that didn't happen, because I think we all did. We were all like, oh, they're going to kill so many people. And that didn't really happen. I want to say I did think Steve was going to die. I also thought Robin was going to die at one point. I think that was leading up to Volume 2. And boy, was I wrong on both counts. It was so hard to predict back then, Like it was, it was just a different era. And season 4 is the season that really recontextualized the show. It introduced Vecna, and it changed everything. Man, good question, though. Thoughts on Shrek 5 being delayed to 2027 next to Beyond the Spider-Verse? Beyond the Spider-Verse is probably getting delayed again, guys. I hate to say it. That movie is going to get delayed again, probably. Would not surprise me at all if it got pushed to 2028, which I know you don't want to hear. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. I just feel like that movie, I initially said it's going to take 5 years for that movie to come out after I saw Beyond or Across, and people called me crazy. And I believe it's currently slated to release in the summer of 2027. All it takes is pushing it one more summer, which they probably will do. Eesh. I hate that I might be right there, but I don't think those two movies are going to release on the same weekend or within the same 2 weeks. They're going to push one or the other, move one up the other way. They'll do something like that. Do you or Cam watch The Summer I Turned Pretty? Cam watches it. I I observe from a distance sometimes. I've never seen it. K-State or Iowa State Saturday? I don't know, man. I really don't. I haven't even looked into that game. Gut instinct is Kansas State. I think Avery Johnson is still the quarterback there, and he's kind of a baller. So I'll go with Kansas State. But I don't even know. That's at noon, right? Noon Eastern? We'll see. We shall see. Favorite Spielberg movie? Raiders, baby. Raiders. I'm still doing my Spielberg watch through, by the way. I've just kind of slowed it down tremendously because there's a new Spielberg movie coming out next year. I'm like, I might as well have it line up with that movie coming out. Go-to restaurant, fast food or sit down? If I'm on a road trip, like fast food, my go-to is, I love Chick-fil-A. I'll say it. I could eat 30 Chick-fil-A sandwiches right now. Not really. I could eat 2 though, and I wouldn't feel bad about it. With Chick-fil-A sauce, that's like my meal right there. But in terms of sit down, I'll tell you right now, man, Texas Roadhouse, like chains, we're talking chains right now. Texas Roadhouse was like where I would go when I was like 10 for my birthday, but I still like to go every now and then and get some roll. There's not one near where I live now. There was where I used to live. Get some of those rolls, the cinnamon butter, some salad, maybe have some peanuts as well. Then you get a ribeye with a loaded baked potato. Oh, yeah. That's my favorite meal of all time, steak. I'm going to make some steaks later this week now. Just talking about that. I can't wait. We got some super chats, though. We got multiple. Thank you, guys. Kyle says, what is your favorite part of content creation? Reviews, rankings, theories, etc. Love your channel. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that. I would say, in all honesty, my favorite part of content creation is like my favorite thing that I do is probably going to be what I rarely actually do. The thing I always end up having the most fun with outside of live streams, which I thoroughly enjoy, by the way, live streams is in the top 3 for sure. The live streams, it feels the most personal. I get to talk directly with you guys. It's weird because like there's 122 people in here right now, but it's just me sitting in this room. But if I were sitting in an auditorium and there were 122 people at the front of I was the front of a classroom, I'd probably be a little nervous. Anyway, I'd say live streams are up there, but I really love doing vlogs, and I don't do them often. But whenever I get to do a vlog, I feel like it's the most fun to make because it's something I don't often do. So it's like a treat when I get to do a vlog, and I get to edit it up different, than a typical review or ranking. I always have a really good time with those, especially the filming location ones, but also Comic-Con vlogs. Those are the 2 ones I do. I used to do Blu-ray hunts way back in the day. If you guys saw those, you're a real one. But those are some of my favorite types of videos to do. So yeah, anything in the realm of live stream, vlog, those are awesome. But in terms of like the day-to-day stuff, it's really hard to top. Like when I have an idea that and this could be applicable to Stranger Things, to any movie or franchise or anything. there are videos where I'm like 50-50 on an idea I have, and I'm like, I don't know about this one. And I just run with it, and it's fine. And I post the video. But there are certain videos where I'm like, I know if I were looking on YouTube, and someone made this video, I would want to watch it. And those are the ones where I'm like, I got a good feeling about this. I also am going to have fun with this. I'm going to edit it up nice. And those are my favorite videos. So I don't know what an example of that is off the top of my head. But sometimes as a content creator, when you've done it long enough, you just have gut feelings about things. And when you have a good feeling about a video and then that video does well and you're really happy with how it turned out, it's just a rewarding feeling, because it can be brutal sometimes with video ideas, really, especially during like the drought periods of the year. But yeah, it's in terms of that. But in terms of genuinely like being a content creator, it's engaging with you guys. And especially last October at the Upside Down Con, meeting so many of you in person was surreal, and still one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me was meeting so many of you guys when I was, cosplayed up as Hopper, taking pictures with people. That was a lot of fun. That was a great time. And it was really neat, because a lot of people said they were like, I didn't know I wouldn't be at this con if not for your videos. And it was awesome to connect with so many of you guys. And it's easy to just go through the comments and respond to comments, but to actually have like a face-to-face human interaction that's not just online, that was awesome. So that probably is, in any panel I've done at MegaCon, at that convention, those are some of my favorite things to do when I get to do them. The opportunities don't come around all that often, but whenever I get to do something like that, that's special. So thank you, Kyle, for your support. Connor with a super chat. Hey, Chris, love the vids. JJ versus Steve. Character growth? I'm assuming we're talking here. I'm going Steve Harrington. JJ Maybank from Outer Banks. God rest his soul, right? But I feel like Steve's arc, it was more powerful, more earned. And I love Steve as a character more than JJ. He's a wild dog, you know what I'm saying? But Steve, I love how, especially in season 4, he's got that moment with Nancy where he's like, you gave me the kick in the ass that I needed to kind of set me in a different direction. And I'm appreciative of that. But season 1 to 4 and hopefully 5, Steve's arc's been one of the best in the show, in my opinion. And so I'm going Steve. But thank you for the super chat. Yes, I'll be at Epic Universe next week. And I'm not going to vlog it or anything, but I'll probably post about it on Instagram. So follow me on Instagram if you haven't. Have I gone to Tiana's yet? I haven't. So this is the new Splash Mountain, essentially, at Disney's Magic Kingdom in Orlando. Splash Mountain was like a childhood favorite of mine. I love that ride growing up. They remodeled it into Tiana's Bayou Adventure. I have not been to Magic Kingdom since then. The last time I went to Magic Kingdom, I want to say, was 2022, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be misremembering. So I didn't even get to do Tron yet. I haven't been down there in a few years. Probably going to go to Magic Kingdom next year. We'll see. We shall see. All right. Hey, Chris, what would you rather watch right now? This is from Ben. Beyond the Spider-Verse or Avengers Doomsday? Honest to God, and this might surprise you, because most of you probably think I'm going to say Doomsday. I'm going Beyond the Spider-Verse right now on Wednesday, August 20th, 2025 at 7:07 p.m. Eastern. The reason I'm picking it is because that is going to end that trilogy. It's the final movie, the final entry. Crazy to say this out loud. It'll probably have been almost 10 years in the making at that point. Into was 2018. This next one might not come out till 2028. Trilogy over 10 years. And so 10 years in the making. I'll be ready to see how they end that story, because that could actually enhance Across. And I like Across a lot. I give Across 9 out of 10. But this movie could actually enhance Across the Spider-Verse and maybe even be the best of the damn 3. So I'd say Beyond the Spider-Verse. Reason being, I can wait for Doomsday. I've already waited a couple years for Beyond, though. So need that. State says I'm going to visit Jackson, Georgia at the beginning of November. Hopefully it's still decorated. It could be. Even if it's not, it's so cool to be there. And you're actually going to be there right around Stranger Things Day, so it makes sense for them to keep some of the stuff up. Bianca, I'm really behind in the chat, but I just saw your thing. Yeah. Some wild stuff happened. You just got to look into it. Starcourt says, this might be a week early, but who do you have winning? Texas at Ohio State, Bama at Florida State, LSU at Clemson. I'll be honest, man, this college football season, I feel like I don't have a read on anyone. I feel like the main reason I say that is like 90% of the teams just have so much new talent coming in on both sides of the ball. I'll say right now, gut instinct on these three games. I think Bama beats Florida State. I think that big noon game is a tough call, dude. I think I honestly lean Ohio State, and that's going to boil down to home field advantage. I think Arch starting in that environment, his first like big start, I think that might rattle him too much, and that's going to come down to it. I think it's like a field goal game, like a 24-21. I think I go Ohio State. I think Bama probably beats Florida State by 10-14. LSU at Clemson. It's so tough for me because I think the home field for Clemson, massive. Clemson and both teams have a returning starting quarterback, so that's big. It boils down to this, man. Brian Kelly is a bum. Can he win the big game? He often fumbles in season openers. I think of USC. I think of some of those Florida State games. I think he lost twice to Florida State and lost to USC. I think he's lost the last 3 season openers, I believe. That sounds right in my head. He is a bum in season openers. About a month ago or a few weeks ago, I was like, LSU, I got LSU. I don't know if I even feel good about this. I think I'm leaning Clemson right now. Just because because I mean, it's going to be rocking, and it's a season opener, and I don't know if I trust Brian Kelly in season openers. So yeah, I'm taking the home team in all except one. Yeah, I'll go Clemson right now. Ask me again next week, though. Ask me again next week, though. We got another super chat here. 2 of them. From JJ. Thank you, JJ. Love the ET profile picture, man. Great score by John Williams. I listen to that often. There's a 15-minute track on there that gets me going on some of my walks, which I'm actually going for a walk after this. I need to remember that. I don't want to lose daylight. Let me make sure the radar looks fine. Hold on. Okay, we're in the clear. It looks like the rain's coming in. Hold on. Let me check real quick. I just have to. Let me check this out. Hold on. Because I thought I heard some thunder. 12-hour forecast. You know what? I might just go anyway. It says light rain. What's a little water? I'll go anyway. Screw it. Hey, Chris, what's your favorite aspect ratio of film? Personally, I love 4:3, full screen with vertical bars. Spider-Man 2002 is king in this format. So I don't really care for full screen. I've always been widescreen. Is that 16:9? Is that widescreen? I don't know ball. If not, I guess. But I also quite like just IMAX. Is that 1:4:3 something? I'm just throwing numbers out. I'm not an expert on aspect ratios, but widescreen is. If I ever had a DVD growing up that was full screen with the bars right here, I was like, damn, I prefer the bars right here. It seems more cinematic to me. But I had a couple DVDs with full screen, and I was like, ugh. I think I had like some Star Wars movies with full screen. I think I actually had Revenge of the Sith with full screen for some reason, but. Spielberg's the reason I love widescreen, man. The way that he's done so much with that, he fits so much into every single frame. In Jaws, especially, I'm thinking of like the shot when the Amity Island billboard has paint on it, and the mayor he like pulls up, and then you got Brody and Hooper, and they're all like kind of arguing about like Hooper's like, you got to shut the beaches down. And then so Hooper's like in the middle at one point, but they're on like the left side of the frame. And so it's just so well shot because the characters, like where they're framed, it does feel like Hooper's pushing the corner, and they like switch places a couple times throughout that scene. Based on like the momentum of the conversation, there's like a certain point where the mayor's cornered, like it's just brilliant. So I really like how Spielberg plays around with widescreen. So yeah, that'd be my answer. But there are some full screen, like you're saying, like if you watch a movie from the 50s on Blu-ray, likely going to be in full screen. I think Singing in the Rain is in full screen. It hits when it needs to hit. Like I'm not mad about it. Like I have some of the classic Disney animated movies, like Pinocchio, that's in full screen. So I don't hate it, but I've always preferred like widescreen. Jay Hayes, thank you, Jay Hayes, with Super Chat. Favorite non-Stranger Things TV show? I would say, let me just tell you right now, the new season of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is vintage stuff. I texted my buddy about it. I texted Cam's dad about it. Like, I've been texting everyone about it. This season, vintage stuff, honestly, one of the funniest seasons in a long damn time. Like, hysterical. The EMT episode, the dog track racing episode, yeah, this season is like, it's got some bangers, and so I'd say It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is in contention for in terms of the funniest show I've ever seen. I was busting out laughing watching a couple episodes of the season. Like, that show it's the funniest piece of media I've ever consumed. I'll say it. It is. God, just so many out of pocket moments. It's just my sense of humor. So I'd say that in terms of like sitcoms is the one right now. All time, I mean. Favorite. I mean, it's got to be a show that I've watched many times. Like, I love Cobra Kai. Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul are in that conversation. Certainly. Like, I'd say some one of those shows probably, but there are others out there, there are others out there for sure that I'm forgetting just off the top of my head. I'm so pumped for season 5 as well. Cannot wait. Do I think MCU Thor is an overrated character? No, I quite like MCU Thor. I think that he is one of the better characters that remains in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Now, I'm not sure where we're going with him after Love and Thunder. I'm not the most pumped for that, but we'll see. We shall see. All right, let's do a little speed round here, guys. Apologies, I'm not going to be able to get to everything in the chat. I always try to. It's just not possible. And so Super Chat's the way to go to guarantee I get to your question, comment, concern. Peter asks, did you like Longlegs? I actually haven't seen this one yet. I still have not seen Longlegs. You definitely should check out Weapons. It's one of the better movies of the year. Brady says, what's your opinion on Alex Leba? Shout out Alex Leba. I don't know. I'm going to spoil something right now. I'm going to do it anyway. I filmed something for Alex Leba's new movie. I don't know when that's coming out. I think it was supposed to come out in June. I filmed a cameo for that movie a few months ago. I don't know if it's going to make the final cut or not, but yeah, he hit me up and I was like, let's do it, man. So it was my acting debut in the Alex Leba movie, the new one that's coming out. Anyway, Leba's a good dude. I met him I've talked with him on lives before, but I actually met him in person at Fan Expo Dallas a few years ago. All right. A lot of repeat ones in here, which is okay. Again, Super Chat is the way to go to guarantee that I get to it, and those have popped up. Ooh, yeah, I've come around to horror a lot. It started when you watched Juan. Yeah, I've come around on horror a lot, dude. Like, I used to never give it a chance. I'd be like, Over this decade, really, is when I've started to watch horror. Like, even in 2020, that's when I first watched the Saw movies. And so, I mean, if we're looking at the last 5 years, I've watched every Saw movie, every Final Destination movie, the 3 Conjuring movies, the Insidious franchise fully. I've watched countless James Wan horror films that he's been involved in. I've watched, I went through a whole, in 2020, I mean, I watched Nightmare on Elm Street, Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw. I watched Sleepaway Camp. I watched Trick or Treat. Like, I watched a ton of horror. John Carpenter's The Thing. I've watched a lot of horror from 2020 onward. And I'm still a horror rookie, but I've definitely come around a lot on the genre. Arthur, I appreciate that, man. Thank you for being here. I probably would love Haunting of Hill House. I might try and finally watch that this year, man. Might try and finally do it. What do I think is the second worst episode besides Lost Sister? I don't even know if I have an answer to this question. Like, I don't know. I think that I love every episode of the show except for one. And the the drastic drop off from like Lost Sister is so far below everything else that it's going to be difficult. I'm going to rank every episode in January, straight up, no tier list, straight up ranking every episode. You know what's going to be at the bottom. It's the Lost Sister. Anything after that's fair game right now. So you know where one's going to be. It's the Lost Sister. It's going to be dead last. Anything else is up in the air. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a real fun video. A brutal one that I'm going to do. I might need to hire an editor, to be honest with you. Like, if anyone in this community is good at editing and has watched enough of my videos to want not even be a full-time editor for my channel, but like help me out a little bit, and you feel like like the style and things, hit me up. I may need help this fall. Because I don't know. I do everything on my own. I edit everything on my own. I film everything. I don't have any extra help, and I might need extra help in Stranger Things when Stranger Things season 5 rolls around. So we'll see. Just a thought. Nexus Edit says, do you think Stranger Things season 5 will be the best season? I damn sure hope so. I actually think it could be. I am a sucker for conclusions. If I look at, film franchises, TV shows, oftentimes if something sticks the landing, I favor the finale. Breaking Bad is the one, and Better Call Saul, I think their final seasons are probably their best seasons. But I can't say that for Game of Thrones, because it didn't stick the landing. I love Return of the King in Lord of the Rings trilogy. I love, even The Dark Knight Rises is not my favorite, but I love that movie. Return of the Jedi, banger. It is hard to stick the landing for something, but I think there's a chance it's the best. They're going to stick the landing, and I think it's going to give us some of the best moments in the show. I'm pretty confident it's going to be. I've got a feeling it probably could be the best season. I'll say it. I hope it is, right? It's all we can do. Jay Hayes with those super chats, his favorite movie series. Tricky question, because there's so few movie series that don't have like a fatal flaw. Like if I were to say like, oh yeah, I got to watch like I'm having a marathon, like any day, right? I could marathon these movies. It's probably Indiana Jones, excluding Dial of Destiny. I'd watch the first 4 happily. And I know throwing Crystal Skull in there, people are like, you're wild, man. But I Crystal Skull, I admittedly have so much nostalgia for that movie, but I am still able to view it objectively enough to the point where, like, yeah, there are flaws, but people over-exaggerate the hell out of them. And then we go get Dial of Destiny, and it was the funniest thing ever. I felt validated. After Dial came out, a lot of people who hated Crystal Skull for years were like, Crystal Skull is actually not that bad. I'm like, welcome to the club. Welcome to the party, pal. So I'd go Indiana Jones, OG Star Wars trilogy. Frankly, the first 6 I could watch a lot. And I'll throw a bone to the Pirates trilogy, but I again, like the MCU, is it really even a movie series? I guess it is, but that's like almost 40 movies now. Those, like growing up, I watched Star Wars, I watched Indiana Jones, I watched Pirates of the Caribbean, I watched the first 2 National Treasures. Those are some of the ones that come to mind for like favorite movie series personally. Let's see. Funny you mentioned this, Lexi. We really got into this on Rewind. We filmed 2 episodes yesterday, and they're coming out soon on Patreon. Episodes 3 and 4 of season 2. Really, we got into the whole true sight discussion, and it was fascinating. Watching season 2 through the lens of how it's going to play into season 5. Season 2 is going to be a lot more important than we all thought. It's fascinating, actually. So I do think they're going to bring back up True Sight. I think running theory I've had is that Will is going to unlock further powers that he's possessed all along. They've just been locked away in a portion of his brain he does not have access to. And so he's going to rediscover them through flashbacks. That's kind of been my take on this. And I'm very excited to see how the Duffers pull that off. But that's kind of where I'm at regarding that. And so, yeah, I think they're going to expand on True Sight, but that's not just going to be his, the full extent of his powers. He's going to, I think, probably unlock something else, which is exciting, right? It's exciting times. Will anything make you watch A Clockwork Orange? Probably not. I have no desire to ever watch that movie, ever, really. I just don't. So I don't know what it would take for me to watch that, but I never see myself, going, hey, tonight's the night I'm watching A Clockwork Orange. Let me, crack a cold, ice cold Dr. Pepper and make some popcorn and watch this movie. It just doesn't appeal to me. And there are certain movies that I think everyone has those types of movies. And A Clockwork Orange is one that I just have no desire to ever watch. I don't. All right. Let's see. And apologies, I'm missing a lot of these questions in the chat. I'm trying to get to as many as I can. Super chat's the way to go. We'll go for probably 10 more minutes and then call it. So I'll do a speed round real quick. Should Rocky Balboa ever return, or is his story done? His story's done, in my opinion. I want more of him, but his story's done. Sam says, I love your background. Well, thank you. Shout out Adam's Art Box for all the art you see here. He's the freaking man. I got another print coming soon. The Billy one. He has a Billy print from Billy's death. It's so cool. Thoughts on the Florence Pugh Spider-Man rumors? Big if true. This movie, I texted my buddy. He sent me that link immediately, and I texted him. I said, this is shaping up to be like a Spider-Man or like a Spider-Man Civil War situation without like the teams. Like what I mean by that is we're going to have like a solo Spider-Man movie, but it's going to be like Avengers level with the cast. You're going to have Hulk, Punisher, Yelena. There's someone else that's rumored to be in there too. Sadie Sink's going to be playing someone. There's speculation that, who is it? There's like 3 villains in the movie. So it's going to be crazy. When do I start decorating for Halloween? I think it's September. Around early, like the second week of September, I usually start putting the decorations out because I view it as fall and I want that feeling. Peacemaker Mario, you're right, man. I totally forgot. I don't think I'm going to watch tomorrow. I will get around to it eventually, though. I got to play catch up on some TV shows, man. I really do. I am going to see Running Man for sure. Definitely. Yeah, I gotta rewatch season 1. I got a weird thing where I'm like, I gotta rewatch a show before the new season, and that probably holds me back from watching things sometimes, to be honest with you. Currently, I have not seen any of Alien Earth, so I'm behind on that, and I'm not up to speed on Peacemaker. Well, it hasn't come out yet, but I haven't watched. Maybe I will find time to watch Peacemaker, but there's another show that I'm behind on. Oh, it came out, Andor. It's from earlier this year. Tyler Carter, drummer, says, do you think Eddie will come back in Stranger Things? And how do you think he will return? I don't think Eddie's alive. I think Eddie will show up in a vision, like, or a dream or a flashback. And I've kind of felt that way for a while now. But if he were to come back and they make it make sense, then yeah, bring it on. Why not? Is it dark outside yet? I'm trying to see. Let me check the weather. I'm scared for my life. No, I'm not really. I'm kidding. What does the radar say? Let's see. Right now, some rain's coming in. I might just man up and go out there anyway. We'll see what happens. Without spoiling it, what's your favorite scene from Weapons? I'll tell you the moment that has stuck with me the most from Weapons. Because, I mean, I think there's multiple scenes that I really love in that movie, but I'll tell you one moment that hasn't escaped my mind, and it involves a car door. That's all I'll say. That, honestly, is one of the, like, I'd say in my life, I can count on one hand the number of times I've been, like, so disturbed in a theater, like, just so physically tensed up. There's one moment in this movie involving, like, the sound of a car door opening. Oof, man. Whew. But to answer the question, really, there's a portion of this movie that follows a character. I don't want to say too much, actually, but because I think the movie's best, when you don't know much about it. But I don't even want to say too much. There's one. The way this movie is able to balance, the genres, blend them together really well. It's what shines. And there's one portion of the movie. I think Austin Abrams is the actor's name. It's like involving him, where it felt so out of place in a good way. And with the score, I was like, this is sick. But the whole like final 30 minutes of the movie probably take the cake for me. Just insanity, absolute insanity. Zach with a super chat. Thank you, Zach. What do you know about The Walking Dead? A lot, surprisingly. For sure, my favorite show behind Stranger Things going to a convention in October. Well, hell yeah. Is it in Atlanta? Because I live in Atlanta. I know they do a lot of Walking Dead stuff here because they filmed in Georgia. Yeah, so I never watched The Walking Dead when it was coming out. I watched the first 2 or 3 episodes with my friend when they were on Netflix. That was it. but I know a lot of major spoilers because while the show is coming out, I was in middle school and in high school, I want to say. Yeah. And so middle school, I think, is when the show was like really getting big. Either way, it was middle school or high school, like when season 6 or 7 rolled around, and like there was a huge, cliffhanger with Negan killing someone. So I know all that stuff, and I know some major deaths. I know pretty much every major death in the show, to be honest with you. So that's like probably why I won't watch it. But if I were to watch it, I would do it for John Bernthal. The memes, and I just love that man as an actor so much that I'd want to see that performance. So yeah, I don't know. I probably never am going to watch The Walking Dead because I know so much, and I've heard that it just really falls off at a certain point, and there's like seasons you have to trudge through. So that doesn't excite me too much. But man, I know a lot about that show. It's crazy. Like for a show I haven't watched that I know so much about it. Jamel, what's good? How you doing? Do I watch Spider-Man No Way Home before Christmas or after Christmas? I don't really watch it every year. I mean, I'd love to, but it is kind of a Christmas movie, I guess, huh? In a way. Yeah, I do wish that Stranger Things 5 was coming in October and November, but that's life. It is what it is. Someone says Master of Puppets went hard. It certainly did. Leanna says Stranger Things drops at midnight for us here in the UK. I'd much prefer the times you guys get. Yeah, this is one of the few times where I feel like blessed to be like in terms of TV release times. I'm like, I'm actually happy that I live in the US because oftentimes where I live it's 3 a.m. So like season 4 dropped at 3 a.m. for me, and all these Disney Plus shows back in the day were dropping at 3 a.m. And I'm like, I'm getting screwed out here. Everyone else is like, oh, midnight. I could do midnight. I could do, but like a lot of people were like, yeah, it drops at like 5 p.m. or whatever. I'm like, damn, 3 a.m. for me for the longest time was everything. I'm like, this is one of those times where I'm like, I'm so happy. I'm so happy that I'm finally getting 8 p.m. I mean, I wish it was out just like at midnight, honestly, in a way. But, 8 p.m., I can do 8 p.m. That's a normal hour of the day. I can watch all the episodes by midnight. Probably. Actually not. It depends on how long they are. They're probably all over an hour. So it'll be like 1 a.m. Yeah, man, Chick-fil-A. Dude, those sandwiches, man, those were hitting that week. Those were hitting. Favorite actor you met at a Comic-Con? John Bernthal stands out. I mean, I've had multiple great exchanges with him. He's the dude. Mike in the chat. Shout out, Mike. Hope all's well with you, dude. Football's been going great. Love to hear it, man. Keep at it, dude. Hope you've been well also. We'll have to connect soon. Have I seen the new Halloween trailer? No, I didn't know that was happening. Cobra Kai Kid, shout out, Drew. Thoughts on Darth Jar Jar? Oh Lord. One of the few internet memes that has become relevant for years. The staying power of Darth Jar Jar. I'm pretty sure they put Darth Jar Jar in Fortnite. I could be making that up. I don't know if I saw some fake thing online. But let me tell you, that Darth Jar Jar is not going away, dude. Do I think it's canon? No, I don't. I don't think that something like that ever would actually happen, but there's some staying power with the memes, dude. There's some serious staying power with these memes. It's wild. But hope all's well with you, dude. Let's see. We'll go a little longer here, and then we'll wrap it up. Someone says roll tide. Sorry. Go Dogs, baby. Favorite queue line decoration from any Disney park? I'm going to say, this is so tough off the top of my head. Queue line decoration from any Disney park. Okay, they did a revamped queue for the Peter Pan's flight in Magic Kingdom. It was really awesome when I went in there. I'm definitely blanking on a better one though, dude. I would say Expedition Everest has some cool like trinkets in that queue. Feels adventurous. There are definitely better ones out there though. Those were just two that I pulled off the top of my head. Do I watch anime? I've never watched a single anime in my life. People tell me I should. I've been told a bunch to watch Attack on Titan. I just haven't done it. And we'll see. We'll see. All right. I have not seen Chief of War. I have not seen it. When you and Cam were in Hawkins' lab, that thump might have been a ghost. I feel similarly. I think there was something else present in that building with us. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, we went inside Hawkins' lab 3 years ago, and I have a vlog on the channel, and it was something else, let me tell you. It was disturbing. Hey, Chris, just wanted to say that you're my favorite YouTuber. Well, thank you so much. Absolutely love your videos, and I think you create some awesome content. Have an amazing evening. Well, hey, thank you for joining. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you for the support. It truly does mean the world. I love doing what I do here on the Film Stocks channel. 98 days, baby. Woo! I can't wait. I'm pumped. Bianca says, this season of Always Sunny is so good. I love Charlie as a line cook. Yeah, this season, I didn't know you watched it, Bianca. This season rules. That was funny as hell when it was like almost parodying The Bear. What a season so far. I mean, yeah, I think the finale is actually out. I'm going to watch that tonight, I think. I think it's on Hulu. I think it might be on FX tonight and Hulu tomorrow. I'll be there though. I'll be sat. Oh man. Let's see. Room tour, never say never. I don't remember the last one I did. I edited with iMovie. Would that be good? Yeah. I unashamedly have used iMovie for the entirety of my YouTube career, if we call it that. And I found so many little tricks. It's free if you have an Apple computer. I have a Mac, so it's free on there. Yeah, I really like iMovie, and it's very, very basic, and that's all I need it for right now. Lisa says, hey, Chris, they turned the Creel House into a, yes, 1,000,000% I would stay at the Creel House Airbnb. And it's like no hesitation. I would do that. That would be electric. Yes, all day. All day. I think they should make every location like that into an Airbnb. Like the Wheeler House, I think if someone lives there, if they were smart, I sell that house for big fat money. I think Netflix might even own it. I don't know. And I make that into an Airbnb, just like they did the buyer's house. Okay, we'll go a little longer here because I got to wrap this up and take care of some things. But we got a super chat from Jaden. Tyler from Wednesday or Muse from Daredevil? I think that they're played by the same actor, Hunter Duhan, I believe is his name. Give me Tyler from Wednesday. I think he's the better character. We don't get enough Muse in Daredevil. And Tyler Galpin, that is, in both seasons of Wednesday, has had a better screen presence, better character development. Give me Tyler from Wednesday. All right. Crystal Skull over Temple of Doom. I'm not mad about this take, honestly, man. And I know that is a hot one. I've seen Crystal Skull more in my life, probably, than Temple of Doom. I'll say it. I like them both. I'm not mad about this take, honestly. I'm really not. What do I think the Duffers will do next since they are now partnered with Paramount? I think they'll do an original film, and it'll be set in the 80s. I think it'll be in the vein of Stranger Things, but it'll be, sci-fi Spielberg-y, but it won't be Stranger Things. And they'll probably make a trilogy if I had to guess. We'll see. We shall see. Dank Sinatra, always good to see a familiar name in the chat here. Shout out Dank. Will I do a full review of weapons? I talked about this earlier in the chat, in the stream. I don't have one planned, but I kind of review it in my recent video. Favorite food of all time is steak. Ideally a ribeye cooked medium rare with a loaded baked potato on the side, twice baked if possible. And then I will then do a Caesar salad with some bread. And you know what? I'll say it. Some wine. It hits. All right? It hits. Cabernet Sauvignon. Okay. Thoughts on Yelena? So yeah, I got to this earlier in the stream as well. I will watch Yelena in anything. Yelena is a queen. All right? I love Yelena Belova. Put her in everything. Have you watched Alien Earth? Not yet. I'm behind on Alien Earth. Favorite Back to the Future movie? Great Scott! Marty! Run for it, Marty! Hold on. This is one that I do, and people are like, it happened once on stream. It was an electric moment, and my buddy Jacob will know this. They found me. I don't know how, but they found me. Run for it, Marty! It's just the stupidest thing. The OG is my favorite. I've got like a shrine right here dedicated to it, but I love the trilogy as a whole. I've been clamoring to rewatch that. I haven't watched the trilogy this year. I need to. But yeah, the OG is my favorite. All right, we're going to wind down the stream soon, so fire off your last minute questions. I will get to a couple here, and then we'll end it. I think there's a chance Will dies, but no one's really saved its final season. Back to the Future 3 is a banger. It's overhated. Never understood the hate for that movie. It's the weakest of the three, but it's overhated. Yeah, I'm so pumped for season 5. Every time it comes up, I'm just like, need it. Trying to cherish the final few months leading up to it. Tristan says, what would you think if they used the OG X-Men as Shredder for Dr. Doom at the beginning of the movie? I kind of think that's what's going to happen, and I'm actually game for it. Just Doom annihilating them, and then we get like Avengers Doomsday with Alan Silvestri's original music composed. Like, come on. He sends one of the X-Men back to be like warn the others, and then he like disposes of Magneto's head or something like really dark. That would be crazy. Crazy cool. Sierra says, what are your thoughts on Sadie Sink playing the role of Spider-Man's daughter? Yeah, I'm down for her to play Mayday Parker, like daughter of Toby and Kirsten Dunst, Peter and MJ. I think it'd be a cool way to bridge that gap. I'm down for that. I'm also down for her to be playing Gwen Stacy. Okay, we'll see. Either of those two would be awesome. I'm real excited to see what the Duffers cook up. I have a short posting actually about that after the stream. I'm going to post it, so look forward to that. But yeah, I think we're probably going to round end the stream. It's been an hour, 36 minutes. It was a damn fun stream, guys. That was a great one. A lot of awesome questions. Thank you so much if you were in here. Hit that like button, of course, if you're in here right now and you haven't. Hit it if you're on the replay. If you sent a super chat, if you watched silently, whatever you did, thank you for being here. It does mean the world. I got lots of videos planned as we, approach the end of the year. And I have a short posting actually after this. I even posted a video right before I went live. You guys can all go watch that. Go leave a like. And if you go watch that and comment that you came from the live stream, it means a lot. So let me know. But that does it. Appreciate you guys, as always, for being here. Again, look forward to lots of content coming very soon. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. And until next time, see you guys later.